Hello and welcome to Nature. The beluga whales of the St. Lawrence River in Canada live at the mouth of one of the biggest stretches of fresh water in the world, the Great Lakes. The whales are now so contaminated by pollution that technically they qualify as toxic waste. On average, one whale a month is washed up dead on a beach. There are still thousands of beluga whales in the Arctic, but the population in the St. Lawrence is an isolated southern group, cut off 10,000 years ago and now faced with extinction, as Triona Holden reports.
They're known as the canaries of the sea. The waters where the beluga whales live are filled with their remarkable song. They're naturally inquisitive. Unlike most other whales, they can turn their heads, even change their expression. Once they thrived in the St. Lawrence, then hunters took their bloody toll. At the turn of the century, there were 5,000 belugas here. Today, only a few hundred are left, and their future's in jeopardy. They're among the most polluted creatures on Earth.
The whales summarize our environment in a way. They represent what we have been doing to this environment for 40 or 50 years. If you find a 30-year-old whale dead on the beach and you look at its toxic compounds, this is the story of the St. Lawrence for the last 30 years. What the belugas are showing us is that the whole system is contaminated.
Here in the vast estuary of the St. Lawrence River, whale watching's become big business in recent years. These waters no longer run red with the blood of whales during the hunting season. Tourist cameras have taken the place of the harpoon gun. But that doesn't mean these whales are safe from man. Many different whales are attracted to these waters because of its wealth of food. They have little to fear as they're just passing through. But it's the belugas, here all year round, that are in danger. These creatures that can live more than 30 years are the victims of a deadly legacy of pollution. Their tragic story was discovered almost by accident 8 years ago by 2 local biologists. They were called out to examine a beached whale. Pierre Ballin and a colleague carried out an autopsy. Their results showed some of the highest levels of toxic pollutants ever found in a marine mammal. Pierre Ballin now works full-time studying these threatened whales. Since then, over 100 dead belugas of all different ages, including young calves, have been found and examined. Every whale carcass autopsied was found to be heavily contaminated.
We found 3 things that keep recurring: problems with the digestive system, a high rate of incidence of tumors, and a series of problems that we relate to a dysfunction of the immune system of the whales. We think that these can be related to the various toxic compounds that we have found in the whales. For example, PCBs in other animals that have been tested in a lab are known to cause erosions of the stomach lining, for example, and leading eventually to ulcers. And we have found that regularly in our whales.
The belugas carry such large amounts of hazardous pollutants that, dead or alive, they can be classed as toxic waste. The main chemicals responsible include the pesticide DDT, but it's carried thousands of miles in the air and its source is hard to trace. Others, though, like Mirex, PCBs and BAP, leave more of a trail.
Mm-hmm.